Good morning and welcome to today's live show. We're going to be doing that technical analysis for the SPY Qs, Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, AMD, and Meta going forward, looking at AMC and GME too. If you have any questions about a stock, you know that you can always come to this live video and ask me to look at a ticker for you. Pay attention to what momentum is happening, and I'll be honest with you. Now, today we have to figure out what's going on. Are we going to get to the top side ranges? Are we going to get to the bottom? And just a quick note reminder that all the courses in the description right now, figure out which one's best for you. Swing trading's better for probably beginners, but it's a good thing for everyone to know. If you're a seasoned trader who just never really has caught on to swing trading, it's a great thing. That one's only $50 right now. It's 90% off. And then also the other course, which is how to trade in any market and an option strategy for higher volatility, can really help you out in times like this. It is a tiny bit more advanced, but I still believe it is overall beginner friendly because some beginners have taken it and it's given them a better understanding of kind of how the market works every week and how these indicators work and those kinds of things. So that one's only $100, and I really advise that one right now. With volatility being a little bit higher, it can help you out with these bigger swings. And then at the same time, it's 90% off. So we are starting out the day with the SPY at pretty much where we closed off yesterday. So we'll pay attention to that going forward because overall, it's just which way are we actually going to go? We get no real hint of which way that will be this morning. So we have to pay attention to that. We have to overall be reacting throughout the day. This is almost like a good thing because now you can just react right away. So we'll see how things end up shaping up, right? And then we can see if this 30-minute is going to turn down to create that stronger base, or if it's just going to continue going positive and really curl up this 2-hour in the morning here. So this next 2-hour bar is going to be either rejection or some kind of upward move. I highly doubt we just stay sideways, but that is possible. But more likely, as you are seeing this, you are going to get a decisive move right away in the morning. So let's pay attention to it. And if that decisive move takes us up a little bit high, right, goes up really dramatically, well, then we could see that fade throughout the day. So we'll pay attention to that going forward. Remember, the weekly expected move, 68% of the time you're going to land below that by Friday close. So if we do get excited outside of that on Tuesday, there is potential for us to drop over time. Okay, let's pay attention to all kinds of things going on. Trade like water. Make sure we're doing everything we need to do to stay safe in this rigged market. How's everybody doing this morning? I forgot to charge my phone, so I do not have a camera for today. Where is my stuff? There we go. Alrighty, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's go AMC. Let's go over to AMC real quick because we talked about this in last night's video, but this is why like these levels are so important, guys. There's not like, I don't want you to think this is like coincidence because we keep seeing things like this over and over again where we get these touches of weekly expected moves and things like that. This is the weekly expected move. You need to close above that to see something crazy or see a fight in this area. So are you going to break through? Are you going to see a fight? Well, you saw the fight and you end up right there at that level. So this is a very, very cool thing to see because it kind of tells you, okay, what I'm paying attention to does matter. It does matter. And I think that's a very, very important thing to do. Lucas, can you up the stream? It should be 1080p. Let me see. Oh man, it's only 720. Why is it only 720 today? Usually it's 1080p. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Huh, that's weird. I will switch it for next video, but I see that my output got changed to 1280 to 720 for this stream, weirdly enough. It might have been happening for like a week. I might have accidentally selected it at some point, but I'll fix it for tomorrow's video. I'm sorry you're just having to deal with it today, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. A little bit on the blurry side, but I think it'll get the job done for today, and I'll make sure it's fixed for tomorrow, okay? Sorry about that. You won't see it break 6 for a while. Well, they still have money to fight the stock, so you're only going to see it break 6 probably once that moment's actually turning into a gamma squeeze. I think this move would have ended up breaking $6 because this was moving aggressively in that direction. It was very aggressive, very unexpected by the market maker. You notice that was just positivity after this right here, right? We closed it down for a while. We opened back up way later on in the day, honestly, and then this thing actually started to still see that uprise. So if they wouldn't have really, I believe if there was no halt here, if there was no kind of halt here, I actually think this thing would have just kept going. But because they halt, now they can apply those positions that they need to apply, switch things around a little bit. Because remember, it's not that the market maker can just type in a price, right? It's not that they can just type in a price. It's key to understand how the market maker is actually manipulating the market with the order flow. They're sending some of the orders to dark pools so they do not hit the tape. And then at the same time, they're allowing short sellers to naked short sell to suppress stocks. So when you do see these kind of halts and you see this major downside after just a good upward move, most of the time you're just seeing, okay, during that halt, they changed something. They applied some money somewhere to fight against that buying power. And I think that's what you're seeing here. So this is the area where we need to pay attention to for the week, 574, but it might be, you know, earnings or something like that for AMC ends up being the bigger moment. They actually brought it down twice in a few minutes. Yeah, I think you see kind of two little spikes like that, and they both come up into this area. So we'll look into it. I mean, pretty much you just got to take the signals for what they're worth. 30-minute is positive in positive territory. 2-hour, we'll see if that's able to cross up. There you go. So starting to cross up, but coming down on the price. So we'll pay attention to that going forward, see if things start to turn back around. We have the SPY trying to make a move here. As of right now, you're seeing that 30-minute kind of experience some weakness. So if this does curl over, that would mean to us, hey, we need to be a little bit cautious with this because most likely it is going to make some kind of divergence. The Qs, they're doing something too, right? They're really starting to drop off. So you see how that can really start to curl down and then maybe even create that divergence today. I think that would be an interesting move for the Qs. Thank you guys for liking the video this morning as the market opens up. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Give me 1 second. What is going on with this stuff here? Sorry, I had to fix something real quick. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 moment. Alrighty. Alright, we're back. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. So one thing that can really hint us if the SPY is going to roll over is if the Qs do. We'll watch for that daily expected move if this rolls down. As of right now, you're pointing up in positive territory. Your 2 hours curled up, so you could experience a bigger bounce. I think that the more likely scenario from here would be either consolidative move that leads to the bounce that then leads to the downturn, and then we see some kind of big rip, 2 hour divergence, big rip, right? I think that would be very, very likely from this area. Let's see it. They have, what's PHM? PHM is not working right now. We've looked at this before. Is it halted? Well, really dropping off there on the 2 hours, so that's what we're paying attention to. Seeing how the 30-minute drops kind of confirms that next move higher and then just unconfirms it on the next bar. You know, earnings is a 50-50 flip, so what do we see? Probably some good numbers, but some bad news, right? So that's why we kind of shy away from it just a little bit. Now we are noticing things like Apple turning over on the 30-minute early on in the day, so we'll pay attention to this bar on Apple for a little bit. Tesla still heading a little bit wonky to the upside, and then we do have Amazon actually giving the rejection turned up on this 2 hour, so it is saying right now that you should experience some kind of 2 hour bounce. We'll pay attention to that going forward. Nvidia still holding positive across, right? Still holding these positive moves. That's good stuff. AMD, a little bit of weakness this morning, but overall holding the positive move. 2 hour was that one. That one is able to cross up in the last couple hours here, couple bars. So we could see that swing upside there. Meta seeing another upside move, and this one actually had some divergence up here, so it does have a divergence between these highs. We'll see what goes on with that, but overall you could have 2 hour divergence or 2 hour momentum taking over here for the solid bounce. Just notice how it's really in that channel. Good morning, Short Fridays. Good morning, Jimmy, Robert, Scott, Jonathan, Trevor, JD, Michael, Andrew, Legini. Dave's here too, guys. Dave's here too. AZTR is flying. Hit the like, it makes the channel spike. Ooh, god damn, you should be a poet. Microsoft, we're seeing some stuff across the board here for those 2 hours to keep bouncing. Google seeing that 2 hour keep bouncing. Netflix seeing that start to fade. So interesting here for Netflix if it starts to curl over on this MACD. Very interesting for Netflix if that happens. Still want to say if that is curling down, it's still close to the center line. Even with all the divergences in the world, sometimes they don't play out, but this one has not crossed over yet. So really looking for that to remain positive here. AMC really starting to turn down, GME starting to turn down. SMCI setting up some divergences here at our next zone. So this is where the price action is starting to get a little tight. We're seeing those divergences. If that can go positive, we actually can see a strong move here from SMCI. Mara really dropping off one more time here. Keeps dropping, keeps dropping. Let's go take a look at the Bitcoins for a second. And we're going to go look at a 4 hour first because that one had some divergence on it. And we're seeing that still turning down, but you see it's pretty controlled. We're not seeing anything too dramatic. So really see if that thing is able to turn back up. Sometimes you'll get lucky and see like a little 2 hour divergence in here for that next turn up. But you can see how if the 2 hour would just curl up here, well, we could see some kind of move probably like this one, right? So you can end up going a little bit higher. Maybe you want to connect these points and be like, how high could we really go? Okay, well, maybe I could get up towards that 70,000 price point if this actually does curl up, right? We haven't confirmed another move up in a while. We have another divergence here leading to this pullback. We have a divergence across the way. You have 4 hour divergence. So mainly this is showing weakness in momentum, and you really just want to pay attention because this daily could roll over at any moment with that momentum weakness. So we'll pay attention to that going forward, but that's mainly what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. And then we have Palantir curling up, positive territories right there. So we'll see if an upward move happens. We're really starting to kind of taper in this direction, right? So you see us going like this, and then now you just see this a little bit. So we'll see if that can break through and go touch that point again. But it's not guaranteed, right? So really want to pay attention if this 30-minute curls back down. It is still negative. It needs to go positive to test the high, go make a new one. You're watching on a projector. That's kind of sick. Woke up ready for war. Ready for war. I like that. That's fun. Let's go take a peek over at volatility, because this here is a 30-minute that is starting to cross down again. We'll see if that's able to cross down. See, this would make sense if we go make this 30-minute divergence and then we hit that weekly expected move on the SPY to the upside. That would make sense if we see that bounce in volatility. We see that really start to ramp up and curl up that 2-hour chart. The good part is the 2-hour chart has been backing off pretty good now. So it's probably getting pretty close to that center line. Look at that. So this could be a brief moment where we do kind of go negative and then we just curl up in positive territory if we're going to get that volatility to come back in. So let's pay attention to that going forward, because volatility is very, very important. Bear trap or bull trap? As of right now, I think you're looking at, this was the first point for the bear trap, and now you're starting to head up, and I think you're creating the bull trap. Now we are aware of, if this keeps going and things like that, it's not, oh, apply a position because, you know, this thing's going to roll because of the zone here. You have to have multiple reasons to take a trade. And so if we start to see some price action turn up on the daily, turn up on 4-hour charts, which you might be, let's see real quick. Yeah, if you turn up on this 4-hour chart with this, then that might be a little bit more positive, right? We might see a bigger positive move. We'll pay attention. But for the most part, it's just, I believe, the most likely scenario from here is to see that 2-hour really pop up, give you that lower high, and then see if that actually is able to fully break down. Because if you do this and then you do that, that's going to be a signal for we could break out to the upside. So we really have to pay attention to this downturn and see if that's able to curl back up on a 30-minute or something like that. As of right now, it's looking more so like a bear trap leading to a bull trap, which will lead to a bigger bear trap, which will lead to a bigger bull trap, and then you will actually turn back down. And I think this would be the big moment. Or maybe you go make a new high, right? Maybe this is able to launch us as we go make divergences on daily scales, and we actually see something like that happen before we see anything bad. This timing, by the way, if you would kind of play this out in a direction, right? We would say maybe like this, then like this. Let's say we go like that, then we go like this. Then we get the overall bigger move, right? Maybe we get a bigger move. Then this will start to leak into, this will actually start to leak into August pretty deep here if we just get some kind of price action that takes some time. So we'll pay attention, but for the most part, I'm looking at AMC earnings actually. I think AMC earnings could be very important, right? Everyone wants to know how this is doing. Remember, they get good numbers or good news about the business is going to help them, because everyone thinks, hey, this business is dead. But for the most part, if someone's willing to, you know, what is it? Brain's a little slow. If they're trying to fix the debt and they're willing to extend it and use theaters as collateral, then they believe that those theaters are valued at that level. So this is very, very good stuff all across the board. You have more time for AMC to prove itself, and if they don't prove themselves, well, they're or not really if they don't prove themselves, but they're also willing to say, hey, those theaters are valuable. We will use them as collateral. I thought that was very cool. Bought Mara puts yesterday after you covered Bitcoin up 70%. Hey, congratulations. Good trade. Good trade. Make sure you're managing that thing. Mara's been moving pretty Mara's been moving pretty good. So what we want to see here is that daily going to cross over? Are you getting 2 hours to cross over? You are, and it's still going as of right now. So you are in that 2-hour pullback. So you want to look for those reversal signals you can see in here. We don't have any right now, so this could be a little bit more dramatic to the downside, right? We could be seeing some bigger time frames, need those to pull back. But look at that. AMC gets great news and now is down 3%. Today. Like it's just backwards thinking. It's just backwards. Any other stock that got that kind of news would go up. Well, not any other stock. Any other stock that the politicians and market makers would like to go up and got that news at a low price would go up. That's the way to say it. See if that 4 hour turns up. You see how if the 4 hour turns up, you can go make that divergence really quickly. Oh, no thanks to me. It's more so just like, hey, congratulations on your trade. You're doing the right things. I love it. For Amazon right now experiencing that bounce, able to curl up on a 2 hour chart, pretty close to the 200. A little bit risky as it's pretty low in negative territory, but the reason Amazon was looking good was all the rejection, kind of higher low rejections you're getting here. So you're looking for that break out of this little pattern. You kind of see this little pattern across, right? You're looking for that to break. It did. So now you're seeing that positive price action. So what does that overall mean? Okay, it means the 2 hour is going to curl up. We'll see how high this can go. And then at the same time, we can pay attention to a daily because this thing's been beat up for a little while. So if this thing wanted to turn up, that would make sense, right? If it will load. I don't understand what's happening here. Come on. Everything's being funky. There you go. That daily starts to curl up above these moving averages, well, then you would say positivity can be there, and maybe you go make a divergence in the near price action. Even though you have divergence all across the RSI, it doesn't mean you can't go a little bit higher and then see that drop off. So really pay attention if that daily is able to turn up at this point. But if the 2 hour wants to make a stable base before that happens, we might see it turn back down and test these levels again, right? You see how far away we are from the center line. So at any point here, we could just roll back down, create that divergence, right? Get that bounce, roll back down, create that divergence. That would be a solid look for Amazon. As far as what levels to pay attention to, well, you can join the Patreon and get those weekly expected moves. For Amazon, something like a 192 this week would be a little bit overexcited, a little overextended for the week. He's back. Let's see. CRM. Salesforce was able to curl up on a 2 hour. I'm not necessarily seeing overall weakness in the move, but you are hitting a point where you might need to make some structure. So you did go positive here, but you kind of see how this is kind of grouped up, and you notice that we're running into that point right now. So now it would make sense if we just back up, kind of consolidate for a moment and see. So I think really what should happen here with the little divergence you see on the RSI, not on the MACD, is you could get that little pullback, and then this move might be the stronger one, right? If we're able to curl down and curl back up, if we're able to close back down and then close above all those moving averages again, well, then that would possibly be a breakout. So I think that you might have a little pullback coming. If you have enough strength here, like if this is all the handle you need, then yeah, you can just go to the upside, right? If we see some positivity through this area of, what is that, 258, 256. And so if this needs more gas, though, it needs more fuel in it, well, then it might dip down for a moment, curl down, and curl back up. We'll see. But just note that if this does curl down, that means negativity. And then you're waiting for that to curl back up, and that means positivity, right? GME outlook for the day is you have the shorts really putting on pressure. I think you have the opportunity to go make a 30-minute divergence. Now, divergence does matter with the short selling problem because it'll tell you when their momentum is slowing to the downside, right? So if we see this type of move for the double bottom, then we curl back up, you notice how that would create a pretty significant divergence. So actually, GME could be setting something up even if it falls down. So we want to pay attention to future moves like that, or this thing can just keep going. So if that's going to keep going, then the 2 hour is going to curl up and everything's going to be dandy. But is that 2 hour curling up right now? No, it's not. So I would pay attention to that 30-minute, and then just if you see positivity, see if you're taking back all those moving averages on the 2 hour, because that most likely will cross up that MACD. As far as AMC goes, same thing, right? But we are curling up that 2 hour MACD. And you notice how strong that bar would have been, momentum taking over, daily would have crossed. It would have been beautiful, but we've allowed rich people and market makers to manipulate stocks that they think should be lower, right? That's just the craziest thing to me. To price a stock based on what you think, not based on supply and demand, based on what you think. I think Max Payne almost every week is like, what? Max Payne every week's like $4.99 almost every week for AMC. Let's see, max pain this week is right at $5 for AMC. For GME, we have a max pain of $25. Get above 30, dang. 30 is a key level for this week. A lot of options at 30. Cool. Yeah, a lot of options for GME up towards that 30 price point, which is right towards this high. So that'll be interesting if we're able to curl up or anything like that. SPY, everything looks dandy. It looks like you're going to head for that topside move. And then for volatility, we want to see the shorter time frames here. I think you really want to see if volatility is turning down. If volatility turns down, I'm watching out for that divergence right away. I'm going to look for a new tapering line, right? I'm going to look for this to stop going straight down, right? Go down like this angle, and I'm looking for that to go almost like this angle, right? We see that kind of break down, touch, and then turn back up. That would give us the divergence. But you can see that without making a bunch of lines. If you want to just practice like, hey, look at the tapering. Is it tapering? Just look for that kind of stuff. Like you can draw that stuff out if you need to visualize it. Apple. Let's look at Apple. We'll go back over to the SPY. Apple starting to not cross on that 30-minute MACD. Look at that. It's not crossing. Okay, so that's not confirming. Remember, head and shoulders fake out all the time, right? All the time. This is a little head and shoulders. So if this is going to play out, okay, awesome. But I need that to curl over on this MACD. All the signals are actually saying down except for the MACD. The lagging indicator is saying, hey, just hold on a second. So that's what you're seeing here. That has not curled down. It has not confirmed on a MACD. Taking downside plays is a little bit harder. Taking downside swings, especially on a 30-minute, is a little bit harder, just so you're aware, because the market most of the time does go up. But you're still waiting if that thing actually crosses, because if that doesn't, you can just build up over time. On the SPY here, you're just looking for this to cross over 30-minute, right? That would be a sign of some negativity, as you are still close to the center line, right? You're still close to here. So that means negative territory is right beneath you. Therefore, that would be a bad thing. Now you're still looking at this because it's two things. 30-minute curls down, bad. 2-hour curls up, good. And right now you have a 2-hour curling up. So if you can hold this bar, that would mean the most likely option, since this is the bigger time frame, the most likely thing is that 2-hour momentum takes over and you head up towards a daily expected move, which happens to be where the weekly expected move is. So in this area is where I will possibly look at some stocks for some trade setups and see if anything has divergence or anything like that outside of a weekly expected move. Tesla, let's go see that again here. This was the 2-hour curling up. So really, again, the most likely option from here, that 2 hours curling up, most likely option is this is a bounce. And if that can go positive, then that's really going to see that positivity. But until that fully gets that positivity, you really want to see that 30-minute. See if that's able to cross down. Look how it's still pretty close to that center line. So if this 30-minute turns down, then you could see Tesla actually dropping a little bit here, maybe to make a divergence, a higher low, or something like that. At this point, I don't think you're far enough up to see a higher low. We can pay attention to it in case it happens. It happens all the time. But right now, I'd say the more likely thing is a double bottom in this area would make a lot of sense if this curls over. Right now, 2-hour momentum's with you. So if this just wicks up and then keeps going, that's the most likely scenario, actually. But if this starts to curl down, then we have to talk about it. Oh, I don't think it lets me see links, by the way, Hustler Maniac. Had a bad week last week, but didn't lose everything. But this week I made it back in profits. Josh, see, that is actually something very cool to talk about. And thank you for sharing, because a lot of times people think that taking a loss is an overall bad thing. No, it's just part of the game. It's just part of the game. It's like playing defense, right? So if you're a sports player, it's like offense is when, hey, you're on the offense, you're taking the trade, you're trying to make money, you're trying to take profit, you're trying to score some points. And then at the same time, you want to stop them from scoring points against you because it hurts you. So overall, it would be, hey, taking some kind of loss or something like that. It's part of the game. It's part of how you can move forward. It's just going to happen every once in a while. So get used to it and treat it like playing defense. Pay attention to your signals so you don't lose a huge amount, or at least most of the money in your trade you don't lose. So you have that the game again and manage the next trade, and maybe that one works out for you, and boom, Josh is back into it. So I think that's awesome. Let's go look at NVO for you real quick. The Novo, we're seeing this actually bounce up. Now we are by the center line. If that curls down, bad news, but this is a lot of upside moves for 30 minutes. So you are experiencing a 2-hour bounce. So from this area, you really want to see if this rolls down at any time, right? Can reject anywhere and see if this rolls down, because that's going to mean, hey, I need to go make a stronger base. Now we can look for some signals in here to tell us when that is going to roll down. Maybe we pop up to here, we back off, then we pop up to here, then we back off, and you see that divergence. That's a good likelihood that 2-hour turning back down if we're going to continue this bear market behavior a little bit here. So yeah, cool look there. Congratulations on making some back. And Reese needs to go over GME real quick. Reese wasn't here a second ago, but for GME, the overall thing I was saying was if this 30-minute crosses over, look for that 24.56 and look for that weakness in momentum. You can still pay attention to that. Weakness in momentum to the downside is them getting a little bit tired. You need this 2-hour to curl up. If you're thinking very simply, it's 30-minute curls down, bad, 2-hour curls up above all these moving averages, good. Same thing goes for AMC. Curls up above the moving averages, good. And you notice we're not getting that cross up anymore. So let's look at the 30-minute here. Well, the 30-minute's a little bit positive, but if that needs to make that stronger base, or maybe this just means negativity and bad things, right? Until I see that signal, and then I'm convinced, okay, I'm aware of that, I'm ready to react. BMY. Yeah, we can look at BMY in a second. I just have Joby in my brain right now, so I'll look at BMY in a moment. Rejection divergence at the low here for now. For now, that really has to break through and close above that 660 level to really see some positivity. But that rejection divergence, the real indication that this is going to go up is if that rejection divergence can really have this 2-hour cross up and close above these moving averages and then get above the center line on the RSI, and then you'll just be waiting for that MACD to cross. But if you're someone who's taken the swing trading course, you know how to manage it a little bit, you know, you just go down in the time frames, you know, that kind of thing. But it is a 2-hour chart, so you got to be quick with it. That would mean if this 2-hour curls up or isn't curled up fully and you see a green bar here, well, you need to be paying attention to that 30-minute if that's going to cross down at any time, because that could pop up and just go right back down. So as long as you're managing the trade here, this looks like a rejection divergence that could turn up your 2-hour chart. And then you wanted, I'm sorry, it's BMY, that's it. BMY, you're turning down right now, so this is an overall negative sign, right? So this is where you could create a divergence, you could do something like that. Overall, this is just maybe the beginning of negative territory, right? Because that's a strong bar. So that could just be the beginning of a negative trend, right? The beginning, which can take you pretty deep here. So let's pay attention to that, but if that rotates up quickly soon, like if that were just to turn back around, well, you're still towards that center line. So pay attention how close this 30-minute is to the center line. And then look at the 2-hour. That thing is just saying I'm in a pullback. So that's what you'd expect right now. The 2-hour to keep pulling back, move sideways, pull back with time, see if that's able to swing back up, because you would have a swing trade signal if this just, you know, curled down to that center line, gave you some room, and then you see that thing curl back up. Earnings around the corner, be cautious, 50-50 flip, always 50-50 flip with earnings. I got out with profit yesterday. Nice. Thank you for your great analysis. Of course, Diana. I'm hoping I am helpful. That's the only thing I want to be. UPS. Going to look at this. Ooh, earnings. Look at that. That really killed it, didn't it? Overall, though, if you really want to look into things like, was I in the trade? Well, if you're a 2-hour guy, you're lucky because, hey, this bar crossed over right here and it told you, hey, negativity is the only option. So even the technicals here couldn't really convince you that this was going to go for another move, as that was still getting towards the center line, never crossed up on that MACD. Now on the 30-minute, you might have a little bit of an argument here because you flagged out. But that's the thing, you have to realize, you know, some structure in the overall move that you're seeing in front of you. What are you realizing here? Well, we were doing this and we were doing this. We were getting kind of tight. And so what's the most likely thing? Well, if that would have gone positive, maybe you would have seen a positive move, but guess what? It never went positive. It just turns right back down with that earnings. So overall, it's more looking at the structure of the move. It's like, is this really going to be the good swing trade that turns up in a positive territory? It doesn't look the strongest. You wanted to see a break of this. Unfortunate that it just happens during earnings, but that's why we kind of stay away from it. Really looking for, you know, some bounces from some of these stocks. Then you're going to want to be playing, hey, 30-minute gets to the center line and you see that thing cross back down. But it really is, because you'll notice these are red numbers and the stock went down. Someone just had us look at, I can't remember what it was. Was it PHM? And PHM, I think it was PHM. They had good numbers and the stock went down. So it's just very crazy behavior there, but that's why I kind of don't play around earnings. Like, I would not have traded this at all around earnings, especially with this look where it's like, hey, I'm trying to go positive, but I could just be negative tomorrow with this flagging. It's like, that's a 50-50 even in the technicals, I would say. Because you're right at the center line, so 50-50 really. See, did Tesla trying to turn back up? Apple trying to hold, not curled over yet. No real good moves except for Amazon. Amazon's seeing a pretty solid move there. Oh, sorry, we're setting up, going to grill out some burgers with the fam. AMD will beat. It's curling up the 2-hour pretty good there. July 30th. Damn. We got crazy stuff all the time now. But Nvidia's isn't till later, right? Nvidia's isn't for like a month or so. God damn, this computer. Wednesday, the 28th. But you see how Nvidia's really close to that center line, so Nvidia wants to see that upward move. All it has to do is cross up above these moving averages. I think it wants to make the stronger base before we see any crazy upside, but we'll see. We'll see, right? Stocks can do a lot of different things. IWM is roaring to the upside. Let's see. Okay, 2-hour trying to go a little bit higher here. Remember, this is a likely scenario as you're getting the swing trade signals early, but you still need that to really confirm on the MACD, right? If you're going to take it early, we talk about that in the swing trading course. It just means really watch this thing throughout these bars, but this is a good swing trade signal, and that can take you to that weekly expected move. It can even take you a little bit higher, maybe to create some kind of divergence or something like that, you know what I mean? So if we see this pop up and drop back down, hey, that would be a sign of momentum weakening for IWM, and I would be a little bit cautious of that, because if you do see this type of signal, well, we just saw a bunch of money fly into small caps. So what would a major weakness in the small caps mean? Well, it could mean that we see money fly back into some larger caps. We'll see. Hopefully it'll take GME with it. Yeah, I'm still hoping for it. I just want to try to look at this with no bias whatsoever and think like what would be the most likely scenario as that weekly is right there. Well, I have a 68% chance to land in here. So if I do go make a sign of weakness and momentum, then it's very likely that that closes back below that level by Friday. So I'm trying not to be like biased about it, even though obviously I do want these things to go up. I'm not shy about that. What about AMC? AMC is curled up on the 30-minute. It's curled up, I believe, on the it's trying to curl up on the 2-hour. So you're still looking for that 2-hour momentum to really take you for that next positive move. The key thing is you just know that they're, you know, manipulating the stock when you see something like that, just to the T, just right to where they expect it to go. And they go, if that goes higher than that, that would be unexpected, and the algorithm can kick in and we could see a gamma squeeze. So Break it down, boys. LLY is a spiking. Yeah, 2 hour cross out. Yeah, you have 2 hour here, so I think you're pretty likely to set up a lower high. I'd really pay attention to this little zone right here, right? If I was to make a zone, I'd probably put it right here in this area, or at least a line. Let's just put a line there for now so we can have some kind of support level. You see those closings. Okay, the bottom of the breakout bar, use that as support to go higher. We see some fading below it. We see some reactions up towards it. We get a lot of wicks there. So I think 892.50, it looks like a good area for us to start to really pay attention. 30-minute, you see how that's by the center line? So you really just want to watch this like a hawk. And if that turns down, then that means the positivity's over for a bit. And then maybe if it turns back up, that will be a little bit stronger move there. Oh, AMC. If AMC rolls over on this 30-minute, it can make a divergence, but it also could just mean negativity, okay? I want you more so to think, oh, that means negativity, and then it just be open to a divergence being there and then saying, okay, that's a good signal. That's more what you're looking for. You're like, wow, that turned down and it's really close to going negative. That's really bad. Wow, that just made a divergence and it just crossed up. That's really good, and you have to react. Good morning, Mr. Win. How are we doing this morning? Liking the video. Make sure to like the video as you do come in today. It really helps out the channel. You guys know it really tickles to hit that line. No, I'm just kidding. Question for the chat. Like, I noticed that RIP Biden was trending. So, like, do you guys think he's, like, still moving or not? No hate towards it, right? Whether you like it or not, God's the only one who can judge. So we should never celebrate the death of any human. But I'm just wondering, because nobody's seen him and there's a lot of rumors out there. What do you guys think? Good morning. Ooh. Okay. Bedridden. Yeah, that's more what I think. I think he's just probably sick. My wife was deep diving. She's like, the signature doesn't match. It was funny. Microsoft, a lot of things still saying they're bouncing on their 2 hour charts, by the way. SPY still going. I think this goes all the way up to the weekly. Something interesting that can happen, by the way, just so you guys are aware, is if this was going to elongate into Friday, we could see that strong move, and then maybe we actually set up a divergence up here, right? We can set up a divergence before these things curl over. Now, it would take you a little bit more by surprise if that 2 hour just went up to here and rolled down. But if this takes some more time to play out, you could end up doing something like this and curling back up and seeing that second positive move towards the end of the week. But I believe this right now does look like some solid resistance. We just want to pay attention if that volatility makes any kind of divergence here. This hasn't even crossed down again, so, and I highly doubt you make a divergence with that low. So I actually think this might be a good positive move. We'll see. Yeah, 100% MK. Trust me, like, we're same page, MK. We watched the debate. My wife was like, God, I just feel sad because he's just an old man. They're just like using him, and it's just sad looking. And I'm like, I'm not sad. He's a pedo. Yeah, supply's fine and fast, so we want to see if that's able to get to higher levels, right? This is where we really want to pay attention because that's our resistance. As of right now, you're taking back all those moving averages, so still positivity to be had. You're not even overbought, so this can just leak up throughout the day. What's for breakfast? I do not know. I don't know why, but I really want, like, you know what I mean? Like just some hash browns and bacon. Sounds dank. We'll see. The Clean Spark. All right, CleanSpark, trying to do some, weirdly enough, some flagging, some possible structure here to head down. You have to be open to downside as well. You see that, you see that, you see that. If this curls down, it's not going to be a good sign. And as of this moment, we do have the 2 hour trying to curl up, and you're seeing a lot of the swing trade signals confirm here. So as this goes forward, the 30-minute is positive, the 2 hour crosses up. Well, then that would mean we might test the high and go make a new one for CleanSpark. So very good look here. We'll see if that gets some more positivity. Put the Japanese mayo on it. Yeah, the White House flag is half staff, but that's because of someone else. I read about it this morning. It is someone else, just so you're aware. Unless more news has come out, but at least that's what it was for yesterday. Yeah, you're welcome, Lisa. I think it's a good look. I think it looks good. You could, like we say in the swing trading course, we kind of tell you if you're going to take it early. You are seeing that moment right there. Just more so want to pay attention to, hey, is that confirming, and manage that risk. If you're getting in early to anything, you really want to make sure this does not curl back down, because you do have a tiny bit of structure to head down here with the sort of neckline here. So if that did cross through, you can see a negative move if that turns down. But if that remains up, hey, positivity, let's go. I'm down, you're down, everyone down. Possible targets for IWM this week. I mean, the safest bet to go, at least from my experience, is those weekly expected moves. If you're really looking for like for sure, you know, take profit areas, it's always going to be your weekly expected move. So as of right now, that's right around 223.29. I think we have a good chance though to set up that divergence and at least come above this price point right here of 224.59. So I would believe, my actual feeling here, and this is just a feeling, right? Because this could just hit that and fall right back down and not cross up on this MACD. But if that does cross up, you'd be going into an unexpected area. So you can either see something crazy, or you're going to see something crazy, it looks crazy, and then around 228, you just turn right back down. So I'd pay attention to that. But yeah, the best thing to do as a diligent trader, in my experience using these weekly expected moves, is if you see a move outside of this, okay, take profit. If you see a move that's kind of like, maybe it started down towards these areas and it's kind of like leaking up, then it's probably good to take profit. Now, this is just the first swing. These are getting a little bit bigger, so that can be a bigger move. But if this was, say, just going like struggling to get there and then it just touches, that's when you can start to see resistance, because the move just doesn't look very strong. This looks strong to me. Yeah, if you delete like your MACD and you just re-add it, it should come with most likely these settings: 12, 26, 9, close, EMA. And then for the RSI, it should come with these settings. I do not change much. High of the morning, nice. Okay, we'll go look at that in a second. Stock market was not really impacted by the resignation of Biden to next elections. Well, I guess we'll see, but just because the reaction doesn't happen right away doesn't mean the reaction's not going to happen. AMD, AMC, Clove, GME. Beauty. Let's go look at AMC again. Not really seeing much from this guy, but GameStop able to wick up a little bit here. So did that 30-minute cross down? No, it didn't. Look at that. So this could reject, start to head up with a little bit of a higher level. We'll see. This isn't the craziest bar ever, but this is something you need to do. You need to take back these. You need to take back that. Go positive, right? You start to get up into these areas again, you're going to be positive at that point. If you just see bup, bup, you'll be positive. So let's see if any kind of positivity can come from this. Remember, 2 hour crossing up is most likely what you're looking for. But don't, I mean, you just saw Are they going to let the moment happen? It looks like no. Like, we'd be crazy to think that the moment is going to happen if they're fighting it. And look, they just fought off great news from AMC. So that tells me, should I really be banking on this happening in the next 3 days? Most likely not. Now, it depends on if this really damaged them. I think they've lost something around, I think there's like recorded tens of billions of dollars of losses. So there are losses being had because of this upside pressure. But overall, it's like you just saw yesterday, they're still going to fight it. They're not going to allow the moment to happen. So to say like, oh, GME, if this curls up, yes, that could be the moment. You still want to pay attention to that. But just watch out for that 2808. Watch out for that price point of about 30, because those are areas where they will fight. They will fight the stock down. Hey, good. No assumptions. What's that money flow looking like? How much we got going into this? AM Dizzle. I really feel like that's going to be a bigger bounce. Let's keep our eye on the SPY for just a little bit here. See if that's just now curling up, guys. Just now. It would be very, very strange for this to just like cross up and just fail. More so, you would see like this bar itself start to fail. That would make more sense. But let's pay attention to this 30-minute. I actually might take profit on my volatility. Let me go look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna take profit on my volatility. Awesome. Cool. All right, I'm just gonna take profit on that. Even though I know things are starting to roll down and things like that, we could see a big move if this starts to close below there. This is going to be one sign to actually pay attention to. If this is going to close below, watch out if that's going to cause some kind of little short squeeze, right? We are around earnings, so we can see some crazy stuff. As of right now, I think you still have that good chance for the 2 hour to curl back up at some point. But for now, we have to pay attention to, look at the dollar making a higher move, right? We'll see, giving you some divergence there. But volatility could drop off dramatically. We'll see it. As of right now, 2 hour curling up for the SPY, but there's not a lot of room for upside here unless we're going to see something crazy. Yeah, we can look at Lulu. It took a little bit of time to happen, but about a 70% gain on that volatility play. It just didn't react quick. Like this bar right here caused it, the options to not be worth as much when you pulled down and then you leaked over. That move made it good. So will you look at Lulu? Lulu. Ooh, 2 hour divergence. That is starting to confirm right now. So this is a sign that momentum has weakened and you're trying to cross above that center line, but this is a good sign that your daily can start to rotate up. So let's see how close this is. Ooh, the daily's rotated up. Okay, so this looks like an okay trade setup to me. Just being genuine, this looks like we're going to see some kind of bounce from Lulu if this can confirm back above the 9 here. I'd really want it back above the 9 for the daily here. But for the most part, you would say 2 hour divergences do lead to that daily turning up. Obviously, if you're going to take any kind of play, you want to manage your risk on a shorter time frame, and the 30 minutes a great one to do that, because if you take that 2 hour play right now, look where that MACD on the 30 minute is. So if that curls down, you want to expect negativity, and maybe you set up a little 30-minute divergence before the real big bounce comes, but that daily is able to curl up. So if this just sees positivity, you see the daily able to curl up, stay above that 9 for a moment, you can see a positive move from Lulu based on the momentum. Now that doesn't mean it has to go through the roof, right? It could just pop up into here and come back down and wait for earnings and then breakout, right? Oh, play I Spy. Let's go. Someone said some nice stuff happening for GME. Starting to go positive here. That's a good sign. Good sign. 30-minute not able to roll down. That's a great sign there. Are you going to absorb or take back the entire previous bar? We'll find out. 2 hour. Are you crossed up? Not yet, but about to be, right? You see how just some positive price actually take back all those moving averages. It would look very, very bullish. I still play. I have all kinds of games I still play with her. Just random. Clove looks good. Ooh. Clove looks like a swing trade on, say, even an hourly. You see this? That looks like a swing trade to me. Looks like you can go create an hourly divergence or something like that. The 2 hour is just going to be a little slow to this because it's not by that center line. So the hourly looks pretty good here. And then 30-minute, just to manage it, you would say, hey, if we need a stronger base, but this didn't even go this didn't even really go to oversold. So very good consolidation. I would more so look for, oh, big move like this, 30-minute backs off, big move like that, then you'll maybe see a divergence up here. That kind of hints you into a 2 hour divergence that's forming as well. It looks like a good swing trade for the hourly right now. Still got to manage that risk though. Carnival, this thing popping up, that's going to be a 2 hour curl up. Yeah, so 2 hours curled up as of right now. I would be cautious as you're making another point of divergence right here, but I could understand if you're like, hey, this thing can go higher. Like I could understand that, but if I had a weekly expected move, something massive like that can help me out a little bit. Where was the Friday close? Right here. So that is a pretty solid percentage for the week. So if I had a weekly expected move, it might be in that area, but I'm just saying, in this area, do I necessarily want to be chasing? I wouldn't do this just because of the room to the upside is kind of limited since I'm making these divergences, right? So the room to the upside might be limited. It just doesn't look like the best upside trade. More so, a better one would have probably been back here when we really showed that consolidation. We confirmed the upside move on this bar, and then boom, that heads up. You know, you could even say when this one went positive, boom, that heads up. When this one over here curls up into positive territory, yeah, we get some pullbacks, but over time you end up going up. And then now you're seeing a big bar, which tells you everything that happened like in these right here has already happened. So you might back off from this area before you head higher. But for the most part, I would say, you know, this might be creating a divergence. So do I really want to mess with something that might create a divergence here? Probably not at this moment. Let me go look at the daily scale. The main play was probably this daily pullback here. Yeah, you're making a lot of divergence on the daily scale. So this is one I would not necessarily be too excited for, like a big upside move. Now, you do have some structure, right? We have the right? So if we really zoom out on this, we can kind of connect some stuff here. We can probably connect all the way down to this low and go all the way across. And then you notice that doesn't line up anymore. So let's see if this one lines up a little bit better. That doesn't line up anymore. So if we go like this though, we touch those two lows and we kind of go like that. Well, now you're starting to line up a little bit. And then we want to see this as well. We want to do the same thing with the highs. There you go. So this looks like the structure that we have going on here. We'll see if this is able to break to the upside or break to the downside. But for now, you're seeing a bunch of daily divergences that say, hey, I could see some weakness here. Still means you can get tight, right? We can continue to do this for some time and then see a breakout. Palantir goes over 30 soon. Let's go see that one real quick. And that 30-minute is turned up and trying to go positive. I believe it is positive now. Yeah, now it's starting to go positive. So we'll see if that's able to curl up on this, or go positive for a long time here. See if that 2 hour is able to curl up. We do have weekly ranges for Palantir as well. So yeah, $30 would be Pretty likely target if we're going to see this thing curl up one more time, maybe on an hourly chart, right? And just curl up for a few hours, go up towards 30, get that next point of divergence really close to the center line. It looks like we are seeing some major weakness in momentum from Palantir, I'm just being honest. So you don't even have to go make that play up to 30. Like, you don't have to. You can just reject at any time and just start turning down. Oh, we're getting a slight green bar here, but this is a negative bar. I'd like to see a positive, some kind of positive bar up in this area would be good. How we doing? Make groceries for the week. Yeah. It's like, what do you have to do to pay for groceries? Well, I've got 3 jobs and I've got to make a good trade in order to afford groceries. That's what it seems like, the kind of world we're looking into. Yeah, we'll look at Meta right now. Up 1%. So Meta up 1%. Giving you some upside moves here. 2 hours still getting close to the center line. 30-minute making a bunch of little divergences across the way. So we'll pay attention. For the most part, you want to see if this is able to break the channel turn down and go negative, because you don't necessarily have like divergence at the same time on the MACD, right? You see it going up and you see this kind of going flat. So this is overall saying, like, if this does turn down, it does have some probabilities to be a higher low, but that hasn't even turned down yet. So mainly you want to see, hey, is the daily curling up? Okay, it hasn't yet. So this 2 hour might need to make a stronger base. And so if that's going to make a stronger base, you're going to see the 2 hour crossover, but first you're going to see this 30-minute actually cross over and come down a little bit. Nvidia looking to hit 125, we think. All right. 125 is kind of our first little resistance point. Maybe we're going to do the thing where we break out of an area. So we tried to do it right here very briefly. Maybe we need to go a little deeper into it. We'll see. But for the most part, that's what we're looking into. Looking if this is able to pop up and then maybe drop down and curl back up in a positive territory. Most likely what you will see here, if you're going to see a big positive move, is like a gap above this. But I believe it doesn't have... Yeah, where's 127? Yeah, it's pretty much like gap fill, a little bit past the gap fill, this area up here. So gap fill looks pretty likely. Let's see what's going on out there. Nope, nothing really. Okay. Back to you guys. Back to you in the studio. Ooh, didn't curl down yet. Didn't curl down yet. Didn't curl down yet. Didn't curl down yet. I know what it needs. There we go. Come on. Yeah. More. A little bit more. All right, we're good. That 2 hour crossing up pretty important here for GME and AMC. How's AMD looking? It was looking like it's right by the center line. So if that curls down, be a little cautious. You might go make the stronger base, right? You might do that, right? You have a line of tapering, which is kind of nice. So if you see this and then you go make a divergence or something like that, and then you curl back up, that would be a good sight to see. if you're still following this tapering. You don't have to. You can just make a double bottom. Just whenever this curls back up, I'd pay attention. If it doesn't curl back up, ooh, you can see some negativity because look how far away this is from making that divergence. So you can see some negativity here. We'll find out. Yeah, for GME, you really just want to get above all the moving averages on a 30-minute to convince me it's really strong. Like, get back above at least the 200 on the 30-minute. You notice we haven't even fully taken back the previous bar. We've kind of come barely above it with the wick. SMCI with a nice little divergence here. Second dip down. That might be all you get. Could mean a big move for SMCI. Are we about to see some craziness? Are we about to see the SPY like explode higher for a minute here? Volatility not going to form any real good divergence here on the RSI, so that'll be interesting. Enphase. No good signal there. 2 hour pretty negative. Everything pointing down for Enphase as of now. So this one is like the epitome of like, oh, anything can happen with earnings, right? Because it's saying I'm pointing straight down, so going down would make sense, but it's also saying, hey, I might be making a higher low, so going up from here would make sense, right, after a big pullback. 30-minute, though, you're not necessarily seeing those signals. You have some divergence down here on the RSI, but just not necessarily on the MACD at the same time. So you do have the tapering. See if I can close above there, but that might not happen until the earnings comes out. Yeah. Kind of a tough one. Yeah, Kimberly Clark. Oh, she did? Interesting. MSTY. Let's look at that one real quick. Okay, we got to look at it on the bigger scale. Well, first of all, did you break through a downtrend? You are breaking through a downtrend. So if you look at a 2 hour here, I think this is going to help. If you just look across, we see this big move up. That could be important because look where you gap to, right around that area. So what I'd more so be looking at is this level right here to hold to some kind of resistance, something like 3084. And then that doesn't have to mean like, oh, it's going to break down, because you could create that left, that head, it's kind of an inverse head and shoulders, get a retest and then go. That would make a lot of sense. Or just pile up and then see that turn down, see that turn back up. That would be a good sign for positivity on the 2 hour. Yeah, it's breaking out. I don't know why, I just don't trust this. Pretty much just the SPY's the ETF. This is the actual like index itself. But they follow each other almost to a T. They're like barely off. There's close to no difference. I think the only other thing is like tradability. I'm pretty sure like SPX is like what people do, like futures trading, right? So you can do like futures trading. Good luck. Love the management of money, fantastic. Yeah, once you start to really take control and be like, oh, this is part of the job, I gotta play defense, I gotta manage my trades, you start to really change as a trader. Only 74 in here this morning, unlucky for us. At least we got a good crew today, right guys? Jagger's here. GME, we'll see if that can curl up on the 2 hour. AMC actually curling up with this bad bar though. You got about an hour left in this. We'll see if this can flip back to green. If this can flip back to green slowly, that would be a good thing for AMC. Where's Marina? I actually don't know. Hope she's doing good. Amazon just really wanting to close above all these. Saying, I've got positivity in me. For about 3 more points. I'm really wondering if we're gonna just run into a wall. Wow, yeah, Kimberly Cheadle is resigning. Yo, I watched some of her thing with, I think it was, I don't remember where if she was with Congress or the House, but oh my gosh, she just did not answer any questions, and she literally said like, oh yeah, I have that info from the FBI. Oh, well, will you give us that info? No. I was just like, what do you mean no? And all the people are like, what do you mean no? Like, that's why you're here, to answer questions. Give us the info. How many rounds were on the rooftop? I'd have to send you the FBI for that. Well, didn't the FBI tell you? Yeah. Oh, well then tell us. No. It's an ongoing investigation, so why are you hiding the amount of bullets? The amount of shells? Destroy the like button. Solid from Amazon though. Ooh, Spy, what are you doing? Are you gonna unconfirm here? That'd be crazy if the Spy unconfirmed this. Like turned down and made the maybe like a higher low or something. Q's turn down, make a higher low, or even a lower one. We could make lower lows on these. Watch the daily expected moves is what I would say for today. Watch out for downside. I don't know. I have a funky feeling. A real funky feeling with this right now, with this bounce. Because like you're seeing things like Apple look like still not experiencing too much, Tesla wanting to roll down, Amazon's really seeing a good move, but Nvidia starting to roll a little bit, AMD not really seeing the most positivity, Microsoft Meta looking like it needs to pull back with some divergence there. Microsoft, hey, that could pull back as well, but doesn't really look like it at this point. Google more so has the divergence here on the RSI, so that one says it might want to pull back. Netflix is pulling back, heading to a lower level, and you do have AMC and GME trying to pop a little bit here, so some kind of funky thing is going on here. Let's go look at the dollar real quick. We're seeing the dollar really move up, right? We're seeing the dollar move up while the stock market moves up. You guys, this is rigged behavior right here in front of you, looking like it might happen, so we'll pay attention, see if volatility can turn back up, but the dollar is moving higher while the stock market is moving higher. That selling can kick in throughout the day. We'll still pay attention to it, but for the most part now, we want to say, uh-oh, that 30-minute, you might experience some weakness here for the SPY, actually. And now we're seeing positivity from GME as well. So you're seeing that kind of correlation happen here. And maybe AMC caused some turmoil yesterday, genuinely, because they really had to fight this thing. Like, really look at how much they had to pressure this thing down. Just the algorithm is set like, hey, yeah, start to sell those call positions or whatever, right? Start to sell the upside positions, and then the algorithm pushes that thing back down around that area. So very interesting, but gonna pay attention here because I think the SPY could experience some weakness for a moment, maybe get that lower high or higher low. As of right now, everything's still positive and dandy. I'm just telling you, I got you know, one of those gut feeling things. We'll see if it actually proves itself. You just kind of look across the way and you're like, ooh, okay, okay, no, ooh, not good. Right, so when you look across like that, you're like, maybe not the best sign. Palantir still looks okay. Just looking like possible head and shoulders, just a very wonky one for the 30-minute. I'm done trading for today, lose money in the choppy markets. Yeah, and choppy market, that's exactly the way that you get chopped up, right? Is when things get really choppy, you have to keep moving back and forth. It's more so okay to take a step back and be like, okay, let me just look at a bigger time frame. Maybe I want to look at the SPY. Maybe I want to look at it on the daily time frame. Maybe I say, oh, okay, that's curled down, but now we're seeing some kind of bounce. So maybe I want to see an hourly. Maybe I see that getting towards the center line and I see that curl down and then we go make an hourly divergence, right? Just try to keep it as simple as you can. Kind of zoom out and not really do like a 5-minute or even a 30-minute. Maybe you want to look at more at 2-hour charts and just see what everything looks like at this point. Everything's still negative and not seeing the most positivity we could in this area. Meta starting to drop off a little bit here. Ooh, I don't know why. I just got that gut feeling. I sold and then I started to look around and I just got a weird gut feeling that this may make a move down. Just a gut feeling though. None of the signals are saying that. Dad needs some bacon. Yeah, this was a tough signal to see, but this here was where you're expecting some kind of divergence. It was tough. Like these ones are not easy. Rejection divergences are not easy. I might need to make a section of the course for that, like the more volatile course, because we do go over divergences. Maybe I need to add something about rejection divergence as well. Amazon is popping. Brand new whip just hopped in. I got options. I don't want to sing the next line, it's rude. Dollar still heading up here. I really want to see, is this curling up? Yeah, rejection on the 4-hour, 2-hour curling up. So this is looking like some insider selling coming in here. We've actually bottomed out on Wednesday, July 17th. We've been going up ever since. July 17th. So from this level, we were at our low, and since then, yeah, we've seen some selling, but now we've bounced back. So technically, the dollar should be almost at those lows. So the dollar's been heading higher for a little bit of time here. Something funky going on, man. That's the last day he was in the public. Maybe they do announce, like, I mean, that's true. I mean, maybe they, you know, maybe they do announce that he's passed away or something like that, and then that causes some trouble in the market. We'll see, but for the most part, just I'm not ever gonna hope anyone's really like dead. But my goodness, what is going to happen here? Crowd work not really showing any reversal signals. 2 hour really deep for crowd work. CrowdStrike really deep now. Just keeps dropping. Dude, is this going to see some kind of flash move down and we're going to unconfirm this? Can we check Len? L-E-N. Lennar. So 30-minute crossing down, gotta pay attention to that because it's really close to the center line. So first thing is be like, I'm going to watch this 30-minute. If that crosses down, that is not a good sign. But the 2 hour, we can see if, well, actually, let's go even an hourly, right? You can do an hourly here. If that hourly is able to really confirm, which it is confirming a lot of upward price action, then I can say, yes, there might be an upward move. If I have a weekly range, that would be very helpful. And then I can watch this 30-minute, and if that curls down at any time, hey, that could be some negativity. Right now, based on what things look like across the board and how the SPY is seeing this reaction down like I'm talking about, and we noticed that the dollar was heading up, something like this, I'd really be cautious with if I'm going to take the upside play. It doesn't mean you can't take the play. It just means I know when I need to get out. And that would more so be if this crosses over, that can mean negativity. So 30-minute, it's always good to have that defensive plan. What am I going to do if I do not get the, ball to go in the hoop? Oh, well, I need to react. I need to go on the defense. I need to back up and get in front of my basket so they don't take all of my money, right? So maybe if this does curl down, you say, okay, I know that play is not going to happen, at least right now. I can see if that's able to base out and turn up again. That might be good because that would buy that 2 hour more time to get lower and then curl up into positive territory. And then you see that curl back up. That would be great. But if this does curl over, that doesn't have to happen. So that would just tell you the stock will go down. The momentum is down until that turns back up. Ooh, dude, who said sing it? Because I'm going to turn on some tunes. I don't know if I'm doing a good practice with my new AR-15, but I'm just like trying to aim it every morning, like just aiming every morning at random stuff. I'm not really trying to take it to the range yet. Maybe someone has some tips for some at-home practice drills or something. Cool. We got some tunage. There we go. Yeah, I saw the resignation thing. So yeah, you more so want to wait, especially on the shorter time frames. More so with everything, you want to wait for the close, unless you see it get dramatic, right? So if we pull this out on the daily, and we'll notice that the overall swing trade on the daily would say like, hey, most likely it's going to be sell on this bar, right? If it's, will load. There we go. It says sell on this bar. But you see how that was like, if it didn't happen on this bar and this bar is happening, it got a little dramatic. You can take a move there. Something that might move a little bit more volatile is something like Tesla, right? So something like Tesla in the past, we've seen some dramatic moves, and this is more so what you want to see. And you want to look, you can look for the reversals in the shorter time frames, but more so you just want to be like, oh, that's really dramatic. I have the rejection divergence, right? Rejection divergence here at the highs, that got dramatic. I would not wait for this entire bar. I would just say, oh, that was a good trade setup for me, right? If I was like in this play on a weekly scale and looking for daily divergences to get out, this is where I would really be like, okay, this is a moment to pay attention, and then that would save me from having to lose another 4% there. But yeah, because you'll see some crazy dramatic bars like these here. Even, I mean, this one said, you know, get out, right? Crossed over on this bar, but this one right here said get out, and look at that, you're glad you did. But just when the bar's really dramatic, if you're in profit, make sure you make some profit. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you are waiting for that 30-minute bar to close unless you see something dramatic. So even something like Amazon, like if someone was looking at this, it's a great positive move. That is fantastic. But on the 30-minute, you're going to notice that that was a pretty dramatic bar, right? So what I more so would want to do if I was taking some kind of swing trade is say, that is a rejection. This bar is going to be good. Okay, I'm confirming pretty strong here, 185. Now I can play up towards like 191. And then we see that come in where some points of resistance are. You say, okay, now I'm good. I hope that made sense, but to clear it up, yes, wait for that 30-minute bar, wait for that daily bar, wait for every bar to fully close, because you can see in the last 5 minutes something ripped away. So what you more so is, as you get towards the end of the bar, you can do something, right? The last 5 minutes, the last 3 minutes. That's where you could say, okay, it's a little less likely. For the hourly, it would be like, okay, the last 15 minutes or something like that. But more so in the past, I can tell you this from my experience, I've waited till the bar closes a lot, because that really confirms like this is a strong bar, right? It's technically not a strong bar until it closes. The bar doesn't even really fully exist until it closes, right? You're just seeing the price action that makes up that bar. So if you think about it that way, then you're like, well, in the last minute of every single bar, it still hasn't closed, so something bad could happen. But it's always up to you. If you're someone who's very diligent at managing the trade, if you've taken those portions of both of the courses at this point, which I can tell you right now, if you want clarity even more so on how to take profits, see a rig move, get out of a trade so you don't get screwed, take that second course, man. I'm just going to tell you right now that that one is... It's a lot. I actually think it's better to understand the management of a trade in the second course. But yeah, once you start to think of it like, oh, this is a bar building, this bar doesn't even exist yet until it closes. Like, it doesn't really exist yet until it fully closes. That's when you'll start to think about it a little bit differently. I took the other one, but I should watch it again. Yeah, just give it a quick overview, for real. And yeah, it's good to clarify that, though. It is more so the closing of the bar. It doesn't mean you can't do your kind of like my gut feeling for the SPY, right? My gut feeling for the SPY, I just looked around for a second, I go, this looks a little fishy. So my gut feeling for the SPY was as good. Yeah, you're going to get that gut feeling and be like, oh, I have a daily divergence and a 30-minute divergence and a 2-hour divergence. And then you see a random strong move from the 30-minute and it just keeps going and you have 10 minutes left in the bar. You're like, you know, you want to more so do like, take your perspective into consideration, take your intuition into consideration. Yeah, so SPY heading down here. Remember, I just got that bad feeling. Out of nowhere, I got a bad feeling. And then I went and checked the dollar and I go, oh, this thing is ripping up. So we can see a drop from here. All by myself. Let's see if some stuff is turning down. NVX. Yeah, we can look at it real quick. Let's see a random one here. Whoa, not the best look, right? 30 minutes been going down for a while. So this is a 2-hour that looks like it's been beat up for a while. You can see some kind of bounce from it, but if that does bounce, I want you to pay attention to the MACD. This is what we talk about in the swing trading course down in the description, 90% off. This one right here, because it is a little bit deeper. It's kind of in that middle area. It's not like deep enough to for sure say like, oh, I can get a higher low is likely. It's more so in that middle area. Okay, so this would be like, oh, okay, awesome. This is going to be a positive move. A little bit lower would be like, okay, I might make a lower high. And then in that middle area, you kind of have the option for both. So you have to pay attention to both. If you're going to take some kind of play here, you see this cross up. Okay, now pay attention if this actually rolls back down close to that center line. If it just keeps going, then you more so would pay attention to a divergence. Shorting in this area, you can keep seeing drops, right? I'm sure the daily is looking like pullback, but you do see bounces eventually, and you've never really gotten a solid 30-minute bounce. Now, it doesn't have to bounce. If this 30-minute curls back down, that's not a good sign. It's very, very deep. So if it does experience a bounce, I think it'll be slim, but I still believe that potential is there, and then you want that to get up towards that center line and really confirm back down. Does that make sense? Because you're getting a bunch of rejection divergence here. You can see some kind of bounce. That if you're playing an option, it can really ruin that option play, right? We all know that. One little bounce can ruin an option play. But to apply a short here would be chasing. The short should have been applied at the divergence point right here. This was a great trade setup right there. It said divergence point, never confirmed higher again, turned back down. And then you want to look, did you even have a closer signal? You kind of did. This little curl down right by the center line. So this little curl down right there, I believe I'm on it. I got to spread it out. Right there, this bar, even though it's green, that is a negative bar. So from this bar on, it said negativity. Negative, 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 negative. Ooh, we're starting to bounce right here. Maybe you would say, maybe I would take profit at this, right? Why they call it morning? Whoa. Oh, on a sober up. We could get a retest here, but that's just a bad look, right? 2 hour drops down. Had the divergence as well. You see the divergence on the MACD with where this line is, downward. Where this line is right here, downward just a little bit. So this is curling down. Is it curling down the daily chart? Yes, it is. So this is very bad look for Oxy. This is a very bad look for Oxy. I'm just going to tell you right now, that is very, very bad. Even when I tell myself that that's a very bad look for Oxy. And you're not seeing any reversal signals yet. You could still get a retest in the short term, right? You see this 30-minute pop up. Right, so now you're kind of looking for this to pop up randomly. It's not really a trade setup, but it pop up randomly and show you that divergence. If that doesn't come, then this thing might just keep dropping. Daily momentum is down. PCC is a little bit high. It is, but so maybe they just funk around the market for a little bit. If the goal is send the market lower, well then they would want to trick those positions first. So maybe we actually continue to see that dollar going up and SPY going up at the same time. Maybe we continue to see that because the PCC is high. Do I have Max Payne over here? I just want to see what people are betting on. Oop, that's the wrong thing. I just want to see what people think for Friday for the SPY real quick. There's a solid amount of puts, but a solid amount of calls. About a 1.01 ratio for today. That's a little bit in between. And then for Friday, we have a huge amount of puts with a extreme call wall at 565. To you at the bottom. Good stuff though. We just got to see if anything's actually curling over. Let me click through for a little bit. Apple has not curled over. Tesla trying to, but hasn't yet. Amazon sitting up high. Nvidia, not yet. Not yet. Oof, that one's looking rough. Meta's starting to look a little rough. QQQ, it could be considered a buy based on the 2-hour chart, right? 2-hour chart just curled up on this bar right here. So this is saying 2-hour is seeing that bounce, but you have the RSI struggling to cross the center line. So if the 30-minute crosses down, that actually means negativity for the Qs. So just be careful. Oh, thank you. Banana bread? That's bananas. I said that's bananas. You laugh. Thank you. Light PC numbers, GDP. We're gonna see growth from the GDP. That comes out Thursday, right? Way down, way down. Thursday. Okay, so it actually would be great to like turn down and then see that GDP come in. Like if we're looking at the timing by Friday, down, up, with GDP maybe? Well, that'd be Wednesday. Maybe it takes more time. We'll see. GME, pretty good move here. Good rejection. Let's watch this for a little bit, because this 2-hour bar looks pretty good. Look at that. That 2-hour bar looks pretty good, so I'm gonna watch it for a little bit. I'm gonna watch this while I eat real quick, guys. But I'll still, if you have questions, anything like that, I'm in the chat here. But I'm gonna eat real quick. I'm still here. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. It's bananas. Yeah, I said I wanted hash browns and bacon. I got hash browns and banana bread, and I'll take it. And eggs. We eat a lot of eggs. Like a lot. We go through eggs like crazy. I need to get a chicken. AMC not seeing that positivity. Is that a new stock ticker? Huh? Yeah, it's a company that teaches you how to trade your monkey. That'd be sick. Wait, that'd be so cool. Like if you could actually train a monkey. Like, and it's not gonna, you know, rip your arms off or something. See if that can confirm up. You got 27 minutes left. I really want to watch this 30-minute bar. This 30-minute bar really matters. If you experience some weakness here, or we're going to maybe make that move towards the weekly expected move, but... Did everyone out there have a breakfast? Gotta have some breakfast in the morning. Even if it's something little. Couple of eggs. Yeah, some people do like intermittent fasting and that kind of thing. It sucks, but today I did stay on like an extra 20 minutes yesterday, but I do have to hop off at 10:30 today, so in about 25 minutes. So really watching this last bar here with you guys, but It's kind of got to be a short day. I got family stuff to get to today. Had a solid volatility play, so it's a good day. We'll take a 70% win. Now, I would say this, Nostradamus. It's very dependent, because like me, I used to do that. I used to do intermittent fasting all the time when I was in sports and things like that. But like, I need to, like, I have really bad time. Like, I have trouble eating, and not like eating, but like I have trouble eating enough calories throughout the day. So I learned just breakfast helps me out. Did we look at this? We looked at this one yesterday, right? Wow, okay. All right, that 2 hour can curl up. I would see if this 2 hour can curl up. Just being genuine. I would see if that 2 hour curls up. Because that hourly's up, and you're seeing this little breakout, not really flagging sideways anymore. I think you could see a little bit more upside here. That's all and I think, right? If these things start to turn down, you need to react, but the 30-minute here starting to just now cross that center line. So see if this can turn down, that'd be bad. But other than that, if you're aware of that, if this turns down in negative territory, that's bad. Well, this thing can just see that ramp up. Then you see if that 2 hour crosses. You can reach my SOS, said you rescue me. I'm old, you're young. Hey, I'm 32 in a month. A month from yesterday and I'll be 32. Who's gonna join for my birthday? GME, I don't necessarily want to, I mean, I think earnings is something that can prove the business and cause the buying. That's really what you need. You need some kind of news, but something as obvious as earnings will be on the short sellers and market makers radar. That's what worries me about that. So it's more so like something like AMC did, like that random news that's just like, oh yeah, we redid the debt, boom. That is something that is very good. But when it's a set date, no life, then you put a line through it. In the business, if you're willing to take it. $53? You're halfway to 100. That's so cool. I can't wait till I'm there. I'm gonna be the funniest old man on the planet. That's not even that old. When I think like old man, I think like Joe Biden. Oh, we're turning back. All right, so that 2 hour is going to confirm here in 20 minutes if we can hold this. Reality is but an illusion. Well, in some ways you would say there is a truth, there is a true reality. I would say we are in the most elusive reality in all human history right now. All you have to do is pull up Instagram and pull up a cute girl's Instagram, and you know that all of that's most likely not even real. All they have to do is, you know, makeup causes the reality to be distorted. Instagram causes it to the max. Facebook causes it to the max. Someone can take a picture of a really nice car, put it on their story, and say, I bought a new car, and you're going to believe that person bought it, and it's going to make you feel jealous, right? That's why it's not good. because it causes us to feel like someone's life is better than what it is, aka the reality we're seeing. And the reason that makes us feel bad is because of reality, right? The reason that you seeing someone else succeed or fake succeed is going to cause you to feel bad is because you understand to your core where your reality is. The reality of the situation is. I don't have as nice of a car as this person, so that's my reality. I do not have a nice car. I'm liking our little Hyundai that we kept. And then I'm gonna get me a, now that we're moved and kind of settling fully now, I'm like, ooh, might have to get my Toyota. That's right, I'm a Toyota guy. Not Toyotas, we have a few of those. When you learn from someone younger than you, it's a good sign for our future generation. Yeah, I think it's cool too. Like, it's cool to see, you know, people from all ages come in here. I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. I know, I'm kind of looking to see if that can curl down or curl up. 2 hours so close here though. If that bar confirms like that, you have a very good shot to turn up this MACD. I got in at 55440. I don't want to fall asleep yet. Well, this 2 hour signal is going to be good for you. That means we can make another upward move. Awesome. The 30-minute is going to be what you do not want to see. You do not want to see this turn down. But as we are getting about 20 minutes away from this 2 hour crossing up, it's a pretty good sign that we're going to see this thing confirm. You notice that once we get into the last, say, 20 minutes, we're like, okay, this thing can start to, you know, this would take a lot of random price action to really crash this thing down. It's a 2 hour bar. So this is where you can read into it a little and be like, okay, I'm above the center line, I'm above, or I'm crossed up on the MACD and I'm doing this. Since it's a slow working bar, probably could just sit here and chill and then say, hey, if I want to take the swing trade, cool. 22. I'm glad I'm kind of like right in the middle. It's nice. The mediator between Gen X and Gen Z. Wait, is 22 Gen Z? Or Gen... What's my brother's generation, I guess? No, he's not 22. He's like 29. The heck? Why is this song in like French? Oh shit. Yeah, there's a video of Biden, he's struggling. That's not good, dude. Some videos that fall apart. You were stuck in the beginning. Alright, yeah, strong move now. Okay, so that was just a blip. That was what I was fearful of, and then we can calm down for a second. We're not gonna curl down yet. So this 2 hour is gonna see that bounce here, maybe. All right, we have that crossing up. All the signals are saying, hey, the probabilities lean towards us bouncing, continuing to bounce. Gen Z, but you're like, nah, I don't associate with that. Google already curled up on a 2 hour. Look at that trying to cross. You have some little divergence here. That's why I'm saying, like, a turn down here would make sense for a lot of stocks. Especially if you want to take that upside play. You really like to see that pull back and turn back up. But nothing here really looks that bad. Just that 30-minute that has that little divergence right here on the RSI that can turn down for that pullback. Yeah. As the VIX leaks down, it's a good sign. Yeah, you're correct. PCC, I think you're right. PCC was too high to send the market down, so now we just send it up. Watch out for weekly and daily expected moves. Yeah, she knows how I like my banana bread. Tons of butter. AMC 4-hour candle is now a magenta vector, which get recovered fast in the next few candles. Yeah, and that's kind of what's happening in the market, I think, right now. We're seeing that. It looked like it wanted to turn down, but the PCC's high. So too many retail would make money, so they go, oh, let's send it up for a little bit, convince them to get out of those, hurt them. Oh, I should have put on a big booty mix. That's what I should do. I'll do that next. Uh-oh, 30-minute about to cross down here. They're trying to do this. Look, they're trying to say, oh, look, AMC is terrible even with that good news, and you should get in the SPY because look at that bouncing. I think it's a ruse. Look in my eye, don't be scared, don't be... Hey, there you go. Nice job, kid. Just remember that this is the daily expected move, kid, which is right here at 558. So if we get up towards that, that's as high as we're supposed to go for the entire day. But how far will the dollar go? Oh, it depends on what's happening here. Right now we seem to have some kind of insider selling, but we do have a divergence created here. So if we drop off, we can see a major move in the SPY, especially as people apply more shorts, then they can short squeeze you. We more so want to be seeing if this daily scale can turn up. Now, how high could that go? Well, I want you to see the kind of channel you're in right now. So I think I had marked off a 124.486. But that's like long term, like after a huge thing, right? But that's where I think it heads to. Sorry, I'm having to get this back to level here so we can see it. There goes yesterday's gains in AMC. Yeah, you see it. It's just rigged market behavior to a T. It is. You hit a weekly expected move and you immediately drop. That's just how it works. They don't want it to get above that price. I'm still eating. God, she gave me so much. Not complaining. Oh, damn it. Look at that thing. Like I gave a shit and you said the whole world's ending, honey, it already did. Nvidia's looking good. Nvidia coming back. We're getting to that point where this is our real test, that 125 level. Awesome. That curls down. Hey, it could just be a pullback at this point. You're not that overbought or anything like that. Apple starting to turn back up rejection as of that 30 minutes, so it looks like some positive move going to happen here. Look at that. 2 hour can curl up. This is a lot of swing trade signals are starting to add up here. Your swing trade signals have already confirmed for Nvidia for some upside. Some stuff looks good. I just want to manage the trade very, very closely just because the SPY and the Qs don't have much room to that weekly expected move. By no means saying this is bearish. We're seeing a little bit of rigged behavior in the dollar, and that's it. We're not seeing the low PCC. Ooh. Oh, VIX, what are you doing? That's a pretty good bottoming tail for a 30-minute chart there. Is this really going to confirm on a 2 hour and then turn down? That'd be so frustrating for everyone. That'd be annoying. That would actually be annoying. Because that's like just the wonkiest you can make it. Well, I think it's also like AMC, a move like this can cause them to move a lot of money. So they really have to make sure that's forced down. And don't think that this bullishness was for one day. That's still great news about the company. And so what they're probably having to do today is really fight AMC down. Volume 9 mil compared to 3 mil. So there's 3 times the amount of volume right now in AMC. Okay, so AMC has more volume in it today than the SPY, and it's heading down. Is that volume really, do you think, selling after they just got great news? It's obvious that, to me, I think buying is being routed to not hit the tape here, and what we're seeing is what we're seeing. I think we're seeing some manipulation of the stock right in front of us. I really do, because that's great news. And you know that's great news based on the reaction to that news. Now we look at the reaction to the good price action. That's their reaction there. What's going on with Apple? Apple is curling up on a bunch of 30-minute charts. You notice the rejection. See how we were going to turn down? And then we reject on the 30-minute. Now we're heading up, which means we can see a 2-hour swing trade really set up here for Apple. Hasn't crossed yet or confirmed anything like that. And it's got a little bit of room to the upside, right? So it could curl all the way up towards 232. That's what it looks like to me. Swing trade, right? That's what it looks like. 30-minute never curled down, so. Still there, though. If this curls down, it'll still be bad, but I'm more waiting for that to happen before I make any kind of decision. There you go, AMD. I gotta finish this dang bread. I'm trying to finish this real quick. God dang it. I feel like I've been eating for an hour. I'm done. I'm ready. A piece of your life. 4 minutes for that to complete, right? Yeah. Jeez. What you do, Hustler Maniac, is you need to wake up, drink a full glass of water, go outside, and get some sun on your skin. Really tell yourself it's the morning in the morning. Oh my god, volatility. It's waking up. It's really dropped off, but it is waking up. Everybody, just follow me, because we need a little controversy. Is this really going to confirm up and then cross back down? Like, genuinely? Right now it's saying, hey, we're going to go up, but these 30 minutes don't look the greatest. I mean, they don't look the worst either. It just looks not clean. You would say a little cup and handle action. That takes you up higher. Probably weekly expected move or daily expected move target, but last night you never talk. Oh, I do that too, Hustler Mania. That's exactly how I watch streams if I want to be like commenting and stuff. Literally pull it up on the TV and then pull out your phone. It's dope. Whoa, IWM, are you scooping up in some kind of cupping that could lead into a handle on the 2 hour crossing up? Let's see. Man, that would be a move. Like the worst explanation of stocks ever. Man, if this happens, that will be a move. Like, no shit. Okay, let's go look at AMD, Scott, all right? Let's go look at it together. Me and you, bud. Me and you, real quick. Okay, let's go look at it real quick. Wait, what stock? AMD. Yeah, I knew that. What the hell is going on with this system today? I'm gonna reset everything. Wow, AMD, look at that curl up above here, saying some positivity can come. If you really want to wait for the confirmed momentum to the upside, that would be above on the RSI, but if you know how to manage your trade, guys, you can do things like this. If you know how to manage and you have two things, you can manage it. You don't have the RSI, so really paying attention to this on the 30 minutes still, seeing if that curls down. It's still close to the center line. But as we go higher and higher and higher, we can see strong moves from this stuff. So if we're going to see a strong move here, well, we could head up towards that 160.83. We could go a little bit higher, maybe towards this level up here. Oops, I did what I said. Everyone close your eyes. All right, let's look at a mad dog here real quick. And yeah, if that 30-minute curl is down, bad news, but you're taking back all the moving averages, so you can't say that's a negative bar by any means. We have that 2 hours starting to cross up here. See if that thing can really go positive. First thing is, if you're going to take this early, you got to make sure that RSI, you continue to head up from here. I'd really pay attention to that 160.83 level. Damn, okay, AMC is rejecting there, setting up that 30-minute cross on the next bar, so GME not experiencing enough positivity here. I don't know about 175 this week. You got a good shot at like 161. I tried. I'm just interested in this wick up from volatility, because you don't necessarily have the divergence here, but you do have it. You do have it here, but that could just keep leaking down. But that wick is just very random for what's going on right now. That's the level. Remember, they bounce the market when we hit those type of levels. And what happened? We bounced. Once we hit that low level, we bounced. I mean, like, it's just depending on the structure going forward, but you easily could see like 175 by next Friday, maybe. But I think you would want to see like a 162. Then you consolidate. Then you go up to like 169. Then you consolidate. Then you hit up to 175. You really want it to be a process, I think, for AMD to build back strong. Dang, IWM starting to pile up by that weekly expected move. What the heck? DJT not looking good. Yeah. It's really not. Now the 2 hour is by that center line. Daily rolls down, that's not going to be a good sign. You do have the 200 as support below you. What are you seeing on the weekly? Weekly trying to go negative, but this is like pullback mode still. You really can, on a weekly scale, you would even maybe consider this consolidation, right? So what we would look for here more so is just a 2 hour to curl up. That 2 hour curls up, we can see some positivity. It is below the 200, so when you're swing trading like that, you have to manage the risk very closely. Turn out the lights. That bar did confirm, so you are confirming a bounce right now, if not going positive once we get through here. But remember, it is just confirming bounce, so that may take you up to that daily or weekly expected move. Google and Tesla, there's a lot of earnings and you're heading up towards a weekly expected move. So it tells you two things. Either those earnings are going to be good and we're going to see something crazy to the upside, or those earnings are going to be bad and we're going to see big rejection from that level, is my opinion. Now, I'm thinking of what the most, to rip away the most money from the most people would be. I think it would be making a 2 hour divergence. You do this, oh, earnings are going to be awful across the board, and then next week, good earnings come out. But that's just a thought. It's not necessarily what has to happen. The signals look bullish right now. That's all I know. Signals look bullish, so. The 2 hours by that center line too for the volatility. See if that 30-minute can cross back up. See if this 30-minute crosses down. Groundhog Day. Alrighty, guys. Well, as far as it goes, I think we know a lot of what we need to pay attention to. A lot of 30 minutes rolling up. If they roll over through those center lines, we got to pay attention to negativity. Right now, you have 2 hours, a lot of 2 hours looking like they're going to cross up. So we could see something crazy break out to the upside if we get those good earnings. But it's kind of a catch-22, and this is why earnings are a 50-50 flip. If we're here by that, the earnings start to release, right? Well, then the next day, we could either see a huge price action up or huge price action down. It's really 50-50. But from that area, we're not seeing the reversal signals. We're just seeing, hey, maybe a 30-minute pullback needs to happen. Yeah. But if you get good earnings, you might skip that. If you get bad earnings, you might drop a little bit lower. So I'd pay attention to that. But thank you guys overall for joining today. If you want to learn this stuff, there are links in the description for some courses. There's all kinds of stuff out there to learn. I just encourage you to, even if you're just sitting looking at charts and really just practicing, I really think that's a great thing to do. But overall, thank you guys so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for liking and subscribing. You guys have been fantastic. And I gotta go. Okay? I need to shower and then get ready because I'm about to go get burgers. All right? So thank you guys for joining today. I wish you nothing but luck with the rest of your day. Watch your signals closely and trade like water. Peace.